Hi, this is Carolyn, and I'm here with Aaron, and we really appreciate Swupnil coming back on the podcast. First off, happy birthday, Swupnil. Did you do anything fun for your birthday yesterday?
Pretty chill. Just went to get some sushi in LA, which was really nice. I've been craving that. Hadn't had that in a while. And I got these new like Meta Ray-Ban glasses for my gift for my wife.
I've seen those.
Which I'm really excited because we're like expecting a kid, and it's like such a great way to like record your kids without like having to have your face behind a screen because the cameras are just right here, and so you can still like participate. So I just feel like it's like I was telling my parents it's like the 2025 way of like the VHS tapes that they used to do where they had it, all
yeah,
like
where
that,
they were like holding it on their shoulder.
Yeah, so it's like the modern way, but I'm excited for that. So yeah, no, but it's fun.
Have you seen those, Carolyn? They're like, but are they sunglasses?
Haven't. I always feel like I learned something new from Swupnil when he comes on.
I know. Are they?
Yeah, so I mean, they just look. These aren't actually them. This is just
Okay.
some glasses that I have here, blue light glasses, but they look like this, pretty much the same. Like you won't even be able to tell the difference, but there's a little camera right here and a little camera right here. That's it. And so like it's as if you're wearing glasses, but then you can just push a button and then it'll like record video, it'll take pictures. And so you don't need to take out your phone anymore to like record your kids doing something cute. Like you can just record with your glasses and you can still like participate with whatever activity is, right? So it's just like, it's kind of like the better way to record stuff. And my brother-in-law had it and we went on this trip to Japan with our nephews like last year and he was using it constantly. We were like walking around in parks and the kids were doing all kinds of funny stuff. And it's just like, it's so nice. Like you don't have to have your phone in front of you. So it's like so much better.
This is a really good segue into my first question, which is not on our list to ask you, but that's just me. You should integrate those into SwingVision somehow with sunglasses playing, because almost everyone, rec players, wear sunglasses.
That's a good point.
Future, future feature.
Definitely. I mean, it's so funny you said that because, like, I think just yesterday on X, I saw somebody saying this about SwingVision specifically. They were like, there's so many use cases I'm excited for with, like, augmented reality and, like, SwingVision's at the top of the list. Like, I'd love to be able to see, like, stats in real time on my glasses and stuff. So I think, like, a lot of these glasses are going to move in that direction. Like pretty soon you'll see like little bits of information on top of the glasses. That's like where I think it's all going to go. And so that could be kind of a fun way to integrate it with SwingVision too.
That's kind of like Carolyn has a new car and I know you have some fancy car, and all this stuff is on the dashboard, right?
Yes.
So maybe it's that same kind of thing, but I don't know how it would work for me. I don't know if I could see that close up.
Yeah, they show it like really small, so it's kind of proportionally similar to like looking at your phone.
Right.
But it's going to take a while for them to improve that. I got to test out one of these like Apple Vision Pro headsets last year, and it's like really bulky, but I think they're trying to get it like super thin, get it into like just like a normal pair of glasses. But it's still, I think the technology is still a few years away, but we'll be ready as soon as the other guys build the hardware, we'll build the software. So,
Yeah. That's kind of the cool thing, though, is, I mean, you started out as like, just a tennis tech company, and now you're tennis and pickleball, but you also have like other people's new technology that can feed into it, which I think is very cool.
Totally. I mean, that's like what I always tell people is like, we're just trying to solve like the most important problems for our players and like our customers, and like whatever the solution is, like we'll work into that. But like, right now most people use phones, and so that's why we went that way. But if someday everybody's using glasses and they don't use phones anymore, like we'll adapt, right? So we want to make sure we're always taking advantage of what's available to make the best experience.
Carolyn, what was our original first question? Because I feel like we just jumped in.
Well, I think the first one was just to remind our audience. Swupnil's been on here before, but in case someone didn't listen to our previous episodes, can you tell us what SwingVision is?
Yeah, for sure. So I guess dialing it back. So for most people who use their smartphones on a daily basis, SwingVision is an app that lets you record your game when you're playing tennis or pickleball. So you set up the phone behind you. On the court, we have this really cool swing stick device that makes it really easy. It's kind of like a selfie stick, hooks your phone onto the back of the fence, and then you get this like really nice angle of the court that's pretty similar to what you'd see like on ESPN when you're watching like Wimbledon. And then you'll get the same stats that you see as a pro. So basically our app will use the camera. It processes like everything that's happening and like analyzes in real time. And so it's like tracking the ball trajectory, the player movements. And so you get all kinds of cool stats, like how fast are you serving? What's your first serve percentage? You get to see the depth of your returns, like all those kinds of stats that you normally would only get as a professional. You can now get as an amateur. But then on top of that, you also get highlights of your game too. So you can see like your best rallies, your longest rallies, all your forehand winners or your backhand errors, like whatever you want to do, whatever you're trying to get out of it, you can do, whether you're trying to improve your game or just like show off to your friends. It's just like a really fun way to sort of track, share, and improve your game, all with just like this one app.
One of the things that I love to do at night is sit on like Instagram and watch other, like what you guys put in. It's like other people's games from around the world. You just take their little clips and show, and you do a lot of your own too, which I love. But it's like everyone plays so differently and we don't look like pros. In fact, I may have said this in a past episode, but what I think is very funny is when I use SwingVision and all my friends are like, at first they're like, oh gosh, I don't want to see that. And then I'm like, oh no, but you get your stats and you get your, if you're hitting a forehand or a backhand and then they go, oh, okay, they're interested. And then when I send them the video, they go, did you slow this down? Like, is this in slow-mo? I was like, no, that's how we play, believe it or not.
That's right.
But I do love, like, you guys put up a bunch on Instagram of other people, and I love to see, like, other people playing, where they're playing, the types of courts, know. And I love, you guys usually do either, like, a funny shot or, something really good. But that's just a side note. I just love that.
No,
like
totally. That's probably been like one of the most fun parts of like building the product too, is just seeing like everybody using it around the world. And yeah, lately we actually have like China is our second biggest country now. Brazil is our third biggest country. Like it's crazy. Like we haven't even done a lot of marketing there. We haven't even translated the app into these other languages yet. We're working on that right now. So it's just cool to see the community kind of internationally as well. And it's so fun. You'll see, yeah, exactly like you said, like there's just tennis is so different like culturally in every country as well. And then obviously there's like different kinds of like training levels and like infrastructure, like not every country has like a federation like a USTA with like proper coaching and all that. So obviously like the playing styles can differ a lot. Obviously the court surfaces are like super different and you see all kinds of wacky stuff. But it's cool to see everyone sort of like kind of connected through this like same sport that we all play. But it's fun to watch that for sure.
So tell us your latest feature. The reason we wanted to have you back on was because you keep, like we talked about at the beginning, you keep adding features, which is really cool. But talk about the coaching feature specifically, because I will say one of the things that I know that I'm privileged to do is to belong to a tennis club. But we also know, however millions of people play around the world, there's a lot of parks and rec in the U.S. There's a lot of people that just go out to any court and hit a ball. And also, like when I take a tennis lesson, it's super expensive, especially on my own. And then even in clinics, you could take a clinic with a pro, but you're not getting like personal feedback. So I really want to hear about the new coaching feature that is in the app now.
Yeah, I guess for some additional context on like why we created it too, we're really careful about like, trying to add new things at this point because now the company's like matured a bit, but we're only going to do it if like we're seeing a lot of demand or there's just a lot of people who really want it and there's like a problem that we can solve there. And so what we started to see happen is people, especially like juniors playing out of like academies, would go on the road and play like a tournament, and they'd record their matches with SwingVision, and then they'd send the videos to their coach back home who's like out of their academy. And then the coach would like watch the video in one window, like on their computer. They'd have like Google Docs open and like write a bunch of notes. And they'd say like, oh, at the, second game, like 40-15 point, you did this. And like they'd type all this stuff out and it was very detailed. But then now when a student, if you have to like review that, it's like kind of clunky because it's like you have these Google Docs, you have all these notes, and you're kind of like jumping back and forth in the video. And so what was interesting was like people were already starting to use like SwingVision for this like remote coaching, but it was very fragmented. And so we realized like, what if we just put that all within the platform and made it so that the coach could just leave comments directly on the SwingVision video within SwingVision. And then they could even do like a screen recording, like talking through the video, and that all gets embedded into the video as well, like on the side. And so we ended up building that, and then that's what we call coach reviews. And we've opened this up to any player in the world who uses SwingVision. So basically, you just record your matches like you've already been doing, but now you can actually submit it to a coach. And so we have this like marketplace of coaches that we've like curated, and you basically submit to them, and they're pretty quick about it. Within like a few days, they'll go through and like leave a bunch of comments. They'll do a screen recording. They'll give like a high level summary as well. So they provide a lot of information. It's very valuable. And like you said, the price point is like way more accessible. You know, it's a lot less than an in-person lesson. There's some coaches that are, you know, as little as like $40 for like an entire match. And it's a very thorough analysis. Like if you're playing a 2-hour match, they have to spend a lot of time to do that. But they're really thorough. They provide really good feedback. And these aren't just like any coaches. These are going to be like the very best coaches from like Canada, the US, Tennis Australia, and then also the UK. So we've worked with like the federations in each of these countries, these 4 countries for now, to onboard like the very best coaches. And so it's maybe like 10 to 20 from each country, and you're just getting the best of the best. And these are people who are also like super tech savvy, familiar with SwingVision. And yeah, like I said, it's open up to anybody in the world. And that's great for people, like you said, who maybe don't have access to a club or don't have access to local pros. But even if you're somebody who's like, playing out of a club, you know, you might go somewhere else to play matches, and your coach obviously can't go with you to all your matches. Like they can only be with you at the lesson time. And they got other stuff to do. So, you know, you can actually still work with your existing coaches too. And so like even existing coaches can still sign up to be on the platform and offer their services to like their students. They won't necessarily be on that like public marketplace that like is exposed to everybody, but actually anybody can actually just join the platform and become a coach. And with your existing students, they could continue to offer their services. And so like if you have a coach you really like and you're familiar with, you could just continue to work with them too. So it kind of, you know, fits your boat whichever way you go.
Yeah. Our club actually uses it for their junior program. In fact, they're doing a huge training on it coming up soon.
Nice.
And they do that exactly. They use it for their own, you know, when they're in person, but they're using it like you just described, which someone just told me that the other day. And I was like, I need to come to this, this coaching session just to see how they're teaching, you know, everybody how to use it. But our club is, you know, very big on it for the juniors because, you know, the juniors are the important tennis players.
Well, they're probably a lot better. But do they give you tips like for your serve, or is it more strategy? Is it a little bit of both?
Yeah, so you can actually choose what kind of feedback you want them to focus on. So we have like a bunch of different categories that you can pick, and strategy is one of them, footwork, technique, and then you can choose like a specific shot too. Like I'm specifically trying to work on my forehand or my return to serve or my second serve. So you can leave some comments and like be pretty tactical about it. To help them kind of focus their feedback. So yeah, and just kind of runs the gamut. And then like some coaches are like stronger in some things compared to others, and so they've also listed that on their profiles. So that's something you can kind of consider when you're picking a coach as well.
And cool for coaches too, because mostly, I mean, you know, 100% of the time they have to be on a court, usually coaching, coaching someone. So to have this, I mean, even for, you know, for there to build a business for themselves, to be able to, you know, actually be able to be a work from home kind of person, which, you know, there's no tennis coach that I know that can work from home, but this is building that for them. So I think that's a really cool opportunity.
Totally. That's our, you know, kind of goal here as well, is servicing coaches. And it's really cool because I think this is the first sort of like product experience that we've built for coaches specifically. Like for the last 6 years, SwingVision's really been like player focused. So I'm really excited to be able to like help out coaches and like built this amazing platform for them. And like you said, there's like rainy days sometimes. And also like no one's coaching like literally 8 hours a day. Like that's just not a thing that happens really for most coaches. So there's a lot of gaps in time where like they could be making more money and like they don't have like kind of 9-to-5 jobs like most other people. So it's a struggle. So I think this will really open that up for them, hopefully make it easier and allow them to also just like reach a much bigger audience, build a bigger following. So it's kind of like a new era for coaching, and I'm excited, especially like in a few years, that like next generation of coaches who've already grown up on like technology and like super tech savvy, like they're going to probably just knock it out of the park and find really creative ways, right, to use this. So
I'm just thinking of how my kids can just grab my phone and do anything, and I'm like, wait, slow down.
It's insane.
I want to do this, especially with my serve. My serve is struggling. I need someone to look at it, but then everything. I think I'm going to have to do everything, like strategy, forehand, backhand.
Check all the boxes.
It's like I need help with everything. So
the last thing I'd mention is like we do have a new version of our swing stick coming out, which is like kind of cool. I think it's actually going to really be important for making sure that the line calling experience is actually good everywhere. Because one of the things with the swing stick today is like it's a little bit of a manual setup process, and you have to like basically, to explain it, you have to put your phone in here, and then you have to like angle it correctly, right, to make sure it sees the court. But
he's showing us the swing stick, by the way.
Yeah. If you're like listening, basically I'm showing you the swing stick. Yeah. But it has this like phone holder on the top, and you have to like kind of tilt it down to make sure it's like angled correctly to see the court. And sometimes that can take a bit of trial and error. You put it up on the fence, you check your watch, and it's like not quite angled properly. You have to bring it down and then angle it again. So it can take a few tries. And then some people also just like don't really want to spend that much time like getting the exact perfect angle. So just kind of live with whatever it happens to be. And sometimes like part of the court's cut off or things like that. And so to improve that and make it a lot faster, we're actually putting a motor into the swing stick. So it sounds like pretty sci-fi. So
people will find the court?
It will find the court for you. So I actually have a prototype of it right here. So, which again, most of your listeners can't see, but anyways, you guys can see it, so it's cool. And so you can see it has like a little blue light on it, so it has Bluetooth. And so you put your phone in, and then this has a motor inside it now, and then it will like rotate and find the court for you. So the setup will be like so much easier. And so much more standardized. Like you can just trust that like when you put it up, as long as you have it kind of in the middle of the court, it's going to find the court. It's going to make sure it's like centered in view. And so again, when we go to like the idea of getting line calling at scale, across like thousands of matches around the country, this is going to make that setup so easy for everybody. And so it's just like, you don't need to be a tech expert. You don't even need to have like an Apple Watch. Like as long as you just have a phone, literally just stick the phone in, pair it with the stick, put it on top, and then it'll just find the court and do its thing. And you can trust that it's going to have the right angle to provide the best possible line calls. And so
that's amazing.
That's going to just make it like so much better of an experience.
That's great, because I have had trouble before. Not trouble, but just where I'm put it up, I'm like, that's not right. Let me take it down, adjust it, put it back. This makes it so easy just to pop your phone in and put it up and then play.
Yeah, it just takes a bit of time right now. And so, it's just, you won't have to lose any court time, either.
But no, I was going to tell you this, and I was going to tell Aaron too. I have played matches, USTA matches. I'm coming back to tennis, and I've not been using SwingVision during the matches. And during the match, I'm like, why did I not put up SwingVision?
Yeah.
Because it's made me so mad. Yeah. Somebody said I did a double bounce. My two opponents are like, that's a double bounce. And I just didn't have it in me to fight. And then also, I know it's my call, but, I just don't want to deal with it. And I don't even care about, so I just gave him the point. I was like, fine, because I know sometimes you think you get it, but you don't.
Yeah,
but in my mind, I'm like, why did I not record this? Not to get the point back, but just to know afterwards, to watch it.
Yeah.
And to
just
be like,
some closure.
I want some closure.
Yeah, she wants closure.
That's exactly right.
I thought about it the other day when I lost a match 0-1. And I was like, what went wrong? And, it just goes so fast that you're like, oh, I really need to go back and go through all those points. But Carolyn likes SwingVision because she thinks it'll stop all fighting in league tennis at some point if we could actually get the darn line calling, Yeah,
that's been another focus for us too. I mean, we definitely got to talk about that too.
Thanks to Swupnil for coming on the podcast. We have one more episode where we discuss when he thinks electronic line calling will finally occur in adult tennis, memorable moments he's had this past year, and how SwingVision could have prevented Aaron from getting really upset and even crying after an adult rec match. And we don't want that to happen to anyone. Also, we have a referral link in our show notes, which makes the cost of the Pro subscription go down from $180 to $150 for a year, and includes the new swing stick for free. For the coach reviews, SwingVision is giving a 10% discount on every player's first review as a limited time offer. We hope you check out our website, which is secondservepodcast.com. Thanks so much for listening, and hope to see you on the courts soon.